Hello, I am back. How y'all doing on this Saturday afternoon? It's a gloomy Saturday afternoon here in Ohio. Again, it was gloomy yesterday on Friday. It's gloomy again today, but it's a colder, gloomy day today, okay? I'm here, though, to talk to you guys about taking care of elderly parents, or parents in my case, okay? My mother, take you back to 2010, okay? My mother, she had what they call an ischemic stroke on July 16th, 2010. Okay. I had got the phone call. I was actually getting myself ready to go meet a friend for her birthday that Friday night. And my baby sister called me saying they was rushing my mother to the hospital because she had an ischemic stroke. So I had her get to the hospital, of course, to check on my mom. So I'm over here panicking and everything, praying to God, like, oh my God, oh my mother, We got to the hospital. They had her in ICU. They was telling us everything that was going on. They gave her a brain scan and everything like that. But over time, she got better. Okay. Her peripheral vision, she can't see. Like, if for her to see, she got to turn her head all the way around, so she can't see out of her left or her right eye, like looking like this. She can't see. It's like a horse with blinders on. And she said sometimes her eyesight, mainly her right eye, she said, looks like she's looking through plastic. So yeah. So back then, of course, I went and brought my mother everything that I felt she needed. She said the stroke gave her like back pains, mainly on her right side. So what I did, I went and brought her like a one of those sharper image, like the chairs with the massage, the heated massage balls that were rolled up and down, the kind of stuff you see at a massage parlor, whatever. I got her one of those. I brought her oh my God, I spent thousands of dollars on my mother to make sure she was okay. So then we had to move her because she stayed in a two-family house at the time in 2010. We had to move her to an apartment for senior citizens that had, they had elevators and stuff like that, because the two family, we didn't want her to do the steps anymore, because at this time she would have like a seizure in between her, like the little mini stroke she was having. She was having like these little mini seizures. We was afraid that she had fallen down the steps or anything can happen. Okay. So it was a lot. It was a lot. And it's a lot to take care of an elderly parent, but also like a sick elderly parent. So, but thank God she's doing so much better. But my sister was with her yesterday, my older sister, and they was going to pay my uncle a visit. But my sister called me and said my mother was, we could tell she's going to have an episode, because she kind of get into this, yeah, 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 like these little one word answers, and she get real quiet. She just stopped talking, and she's like and my mother's a talker. She is a talker, okay? So we know when she's gonna have one of these little episodes. So and then my mother thinks too much about death, and we don't like that. She did lose her sister in 2010, a few months after she had that ischemic stroke. Her sister passed of breast cancer. My auntie was fighting breast cancer for 20 years, okay? And my mother just cannot, she thinks, she sits in her own thoughts in her apartment, and she thinks about that, and it causes her to just have these crying spells and crying spells and crying spells. So I go over to my mother's place and try to talk to her, like, Mama, your sister don't want you to sit back and constantly cry like this. If she was still here and you left, she would still be partying. You know what I'm saying? That's it. My aunt was a partier, okay? But my thing is, Mama, you can't just keep sitting back dwelling and dwelling and dwelling. That's a lot. And it's stressful for me. It's stressful for my siblings, because we have to go over there and kind of like calm her down. You know what I'm saying? We feel we have to like sit and just talk with her. So, this is a blood pressure cup that I brought her several years ago. and it got all messed up, whatever. It was giving her the same stupid readings or whatever, and it ran by battery. So I took her to Walgreens to get her a whole new system or whatever. It's really nice. It runs by batteries, and you can plug it in. The one that I got for her, really nice. So yeah, it has a big old LCD screen. You can read your blood pressure readings, and it tell you it holds 100 readings and the time and the date. So she ain't gotta keep trying to. She also has a condition called aphasia, if you know what that is. She also has that, so it's hard for her to kind of keep up with words and read words and write stuff down. She can look at an apple, and she has studied that apple like, what is that? She know what it is, but she can't get it out. Like, that's an apple, or that's a book, or this is a phone, and she forgot, like, my name. She forgot my sister and my brother's name, you know. And it's a lot to deal with. So we've been dealing with this for my mother since 2010. She had her ischemic stroke. But I was with her today, took her to the store, like I said earlier, to get her another blood pressure cup and stuff, because this one is busted. Like I said, I bought this, I think, from Walmart or something about 7-8 years ago or something. So, so she got a whole new blood pressure cup, which we proud of that one. But yeah, taking care of an elderly parent, we have to be patient is the big thing. We have to be patient with them. And even though my mother, she can repeat herself the same, you know, something. Did I show you this? Did I tell you this? I said, yeah, mama, you already showed me that, or you already said that, whatever. But sometimes I let her just go ahead and just roll with it. I'm thinking, okay, she just told me this, whatever, this and that, you know. But I just let her just keep, you know, as long as I hear her talking, then I know she's okay, you know. As long as she ain't doing all that, yeah, no, yeah. So when she do that, we know she's gonna have a seizure, a little episode or something. So I went over to her place. I sat with her for a while. We sat there and watched Bernie Mac together after we came back from the store. And, you know, she offered you want some ice cream? You want some sauce? Mama, I don't want anything, Mama. I'm over here to sit with you. And I'm going to search this little video that I just did. This was just about 2.5 hours ago. I'm going to search this little video for y'all to watch. She likes silly stuff. That's what I do. I'm always silly with my mother. So peep all this.
I'll get it straight or whatever.
No, I can pick my mama up. Let me see. Okay, hold on.
No. Yeah, I didn't pick that for years. But I always drive me.
This is exercise, though.
I exercise every day.
I mean, for me.
Oh, for you? That's exercise?
For me, yep. Look at you, fall back. I have us both up against the table.
That's what health is, yeah. You don't fall back when you sitting here and have to call for help.
Right, help? Like, nah. How about she at 190? You know, I'm about that. That's you about 125.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just what we do. I just felt, you know, she kept saying, I'm about 190 pounds. Mama, you ain't no 190. Yes, I am. I said, Mama, you're about 125, 130. You are not 190 pounds. Yes, my mother has never been 190 pounds. She only like what, about 5 feet tall. My mother, the heaviest my mother ever been is probably about maybe about 145, 150. That's the heaviest she ever been. Mama, I said, I'm about 190, 194, so you ain't no daggone 190 pounds, Mama. Yeah. Like I said, I'm 5'7". So yeah. That little video, I put that on my Instagram account. People just love it. They was like, oh my God. I said, yeah, thank you, y'all. That was cute. That's your mama. You only get one. But yeah, we just have to be patient. And I have one of my best male friends. I love him to death. I love him. And if he's watching this video, he know who he is. He's taking care of his dad, who's in a nursing home. You know, and our parents, sometimes when we taking care of them, they can say some mean, cruel things that we look like, boy. He ain't gonna hit your parents. I'm just saying. You know, and other times they say stuff that's so funny. My friend would call me and tell me, my pop said this, and we just be cracking up laughing. But other times he called me and say, my pop said that. I'm like, that's messed up. You know, I said, my mother would say some stuff too. And I'm looking like, Mom, why would you say something like that? What? Why would you say that? I ain't say nothing. Mama, you just said that. So I just say, I'm not going to argue with my mama. You know, like, again, I got to take my own advice and be patient with my mother. Okay? My mother, she's 73. She ain't 73. but she's 73. You know what I'm saying? And I believe if she didn't have this ischemic stroke in 2010, she would have been better off. You know what I'm saying? Because she was active. She was working full-time job. She was a dietitian at a nursing home. So she did, she did her job. She was on the go. We would all go hang together, shop together, eat together. We have like either at my house or my sister's home. They always have dinners and parties and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We always bring mom over. And I'm the kind of person, when my mom was over here, I made sure my mama get fed first. That's just me, okay? Mom's get a plate first. That's my mother. I came from that woman's body, okay? She taught me a lot of things that I know. I tell you all the time that my mama always said, get your own. That's the woman who taught me everything that, when it comes to get your own, because that's what she had to do when she left my father. When I was 6 years old at the time, okay? But I'm going to feed my mama first. That's just me. Some people are like, I feed my husband first. I'm going to feed my mother first, okay? My hubby understands that. So, because I would tell him, take care of your mother first. They're elderly. His mother is 88. Come on now. What I look like saying, give me a plate for your mama? No, she's 88. Feed your mom first. We cool. I can feed myself, but feed your mom first. She's 88 years old. That's just how I am, okay? But we just have to be very patient, okay? Caring and loving to take care of our parents, okay? Because they took care of us. I know everybody's mom and dad out here ain't right, okay? They wasn't right. My husband, he wasn't to that all the time on his job. There was a young lady, and I think the story was it was just so sad, but we understand. I understand. There's a young lady whose father needed a kidney. He needed a kidney bad, okay? Or he was gonna be pieced out, basically. The daughter said, I'm not giving him a kidney. People thought that was so cruel, like, oh. But she said, I don't have to explain what he did to me as a little girl. And we all know what that was. Yeah, she said my father was, he was sexually abusing me from the age of 4 to the age of 12. Y'all want me to give him a kidney? Come on now. What would y'all do? I mean, hey, I felt her. I felt her. I did. Yeah, so everybody's parents ain't right. But the fact that my mama took care of me, I'm going to take care of my mother. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, she's a fighter. She's been in the hospital multiple times, but she has not really been in the hospital for several years now, which is a blessing. I thank God every day that she has not been in the hospital like she was. Like when she first had this ischemic stroke back in 2010, she was in the hospital almost monthly for like 4 or 5 days on end. But parents do things that can make you so angry. Like my mother, I believe she would have never had a stroke if she stayed on her high blood pressure pills. They gave my mother high blood pressure pills back in 2008. I remember the day, but she'll say that never happened. Mama, I'm the one who took you to go get your pills. And then my sister took her back to go get her pills. My mother flushed her pills down the toilet. Because my younger sister saw her do it. My baby sister saw her do that. She said she never did that. We kept saying, Mama, where your pills at? I don't know. So I know my sister saw what she saw. My mother flushed them down the toilet. So that was in February of 2008. And then July of 2010, when she had that ischemic stroke, July 16th, 2010, which was on a Friday. I remember that day because I was sitting in my chair right here, and I was on the phone with my friend telling her, I'll meet you in about 7 o'clock that night. And then I had to call and tell her I can't meet her because my mother just had a stroke, so yeah. But if she took her pills the way she was supposed to, she would have never had that stroke. My mother, she's a very vain woman, okay? So I know I've shown her picture multiple times on here. I'm going to show her picture one more again right here. I'm going to show y'all 2 pictures of my mother. So you will see my mother, she's a vain woman. Now, this is one picture. She took this picture right here this is from 1978. And I showed this picture before. This was like a 3 or 4 piece suit she was wearing. My mother had very, very long jet black hair, dimples, all them pretty teeth. And the thing about it, she still looked the same. She just, you get older and they just, things happen, you get older and stuff like that. And the stroke had did a lot of stuff to her also. So that's one picture of her. here's another picture of her. I remember this day also. This was actually in 1986. She was going to she was at a Gladys Knight and the Pips concert. I remember this night. Yeah. So yeah, my mother, look at that Cupid doll baby face. My mother, that's just how she is. She was like, nope. She was like, y'all ain't getting me on one of them. My mother is vain. She was a very vain woman. And everybody loved her. And people always tell me I got her smile. But I think my daughter looks more like her. My daughter got that round face, and my daughter got her dimples. Yeah, so we all going to have parents or a parent that we're going to have to care for. It's a lot of work, but, you know, as long as God keep breath in my body and keep my, keep my stuff together, I'm good. So, and my mother, she's a big time warrior. She worries about every little thing. That's why when I was going through my breast cancer treatments 3 years ago, I said, I'm not going to tell my mother until I was done with everything. And she kept questioning me, why your feet dark? Is that your hair? What's going on? I kept like I have a, my scar right here from when I had that port. And I just kept, every time I go around her, I just cover it up because she would question my mother, she inspects her kids. She gonna look at you like, she gonna look at everything. So I was like, I gotta cover this up. I told my husband, is anything showing or whatever? And, I was like, my mother, she inspects everything. So that's how she is. But also, too, like I always say, in the meantime, take care of yourself. Okay? Don't lose you because you're taking care of them. You still have to take care of yourself. Do not get lost with taking care of your parents. We're going to do that, okay? But I've seen people who sit back and they neglect their own health, and things happen to you. If I can't take care of my mama, you know what I'm saying, then everything gonna be on my siblings. But I have to be there too. I gotta take care of myself. Like yesterday, I had my when I go. Like I said, I had the breast cancer 3 years ago, and I had to go see the radiation doctor. They fill you up, make sure everything okay, whatever. And I went to the dentist, and I make my appointments. That's my self care. I keep myself together because I gotta take care of myself. I got a home. I have my own daughter. I have a husband. I have a full-time job, and I want to retire in a few more years so I can travel. Okay, so Denise got to take care of Denise. Okay, but in the meantime, I don't want to lose myself in taking care of someone else. Even though it's my mother, I don't want to lose myself taking care of my mother. So for me to take care of my mother, I must take care of myself. So that's why I'm telling y'all, take care of yourself, okay? Take care of yourself first so you can take care of your elderly parents, or parents in my case. Because it's a hell of a lot of work. And if you have never dealt with taking care of an elderly parent, oh my God, you in for something. I ain't talking about, okay, you can take care of old people if you are a nurse or whatever, and you work in that field, you take care of old people, you got like a good gist of it. You already got that. But when it's your own, wow, that's going to be extra more work. So, in saying all that, I thank God my mother is here, because that stroke could have took her out of here. I thank God she's here. But like I said, we had to move her from where she was living because there was a lot of work trying to get her up the steps. It was hard for her to see, hard for her to walk up the steps, and that stroke kind of messed up her right side to a point. Like I said, her peripheral vision, even her left, her peripheral vision and stuff is not right. So, but she's better and she lives by herself. But I'm glad she lives around other elderly people instead of a 2-family house that a lot of people wasn't around like that, So now she lives, where she lived, they kind of all watch over each other. They knock on each other's doors and this and that and make sure everybody's okay, okay? So if somebody ain't right, they're going to call the ambulance to come and get that person. And that's what she needed. She needed to be around other people, like common people, like, in her age group or whatever. They can all kind of watch each other, which is a blessing. But all right, y'all, I talked enough. I'm just talking about taking care of elderly parents or parents. It's a lot of work. But again, don't get lost in taking care of somebody else, but you're not taking care of yourself, okay? God bless. Lay low. Stay out of the way, okay? And I will get back with y'all on another video. Deuces.